Saving a broken plant, a calm afternoon after the rain. The little brother runs around the garden, then suddenly stops. He points. A young plant has been bent and broken by the wind, its stem leaning close to the ground. The little brother bends down to look, his face turning sad. The sister steps closer, gently touches the stem, and shakes her head worriedly. Dad examines the break carefully and nods with a decision. Dad gently straightens the plant's stem. Mom holds the base, adds more soil, pressing it firmly around the roots. The sister places 2 wooden stakes on either side. The little brother passes the string, carefully tying it around the stem. The string is tightened just enough, not too tight. A light breeze. A gentle wind blows. The plant stands firm. Its leaves tremble softly, no longer leaning. The family applauds as if they've just saved someone.
Shooting star. The night has fallen. Bluey and Bandit settle down for a quiet evening on the veranda after a long day of play. Bluey gazes up at the twinkling stars, and suddenly she points an excited finger towards the sky. A brilliant, swift streak of light, a shooting star, flies across the dark night sky. Both dad and daughter watch it pass. Bluey turns to look at her dad, her eyes wide with surprise and a little bit of wonder. Bandit gently pulls Bluey into a warm hug. Bluey closes her eyes, keeping her silent wish completely private. She opens them, giving a look of pure contentment. Bandit tightens his hug, savoring the special moment.
Building a small wooden house. A cool, gentle morning. Dad carries the wood out and places it on the ground. Mom lays out the measuring tape, carefully measuring each piece. Sister uses a pencil to mark the lines. Little brother hugs a handful of nails, running back and forth excitedly. Dad joins 2 wooden boards to make the frame. The little house tilts slightly. The family stands back to look. Mom points and gently shakes her head. They take it apart and adjust it. Dad hammers in the nails. Thud, thud. Sister holds the board straight. Little brother hands over the hammer. The wrong way. The small wooden house stands firmly. The roof provides just enough cover with a cute low door. The whole family fits perfectly inside the tiny house. They look at one another and smile warmly. The misplaced ego. Morning. Mom returns from the market, carefully setting the basket of eggs on the table. She gestures a reminder and walks away to do other chores. Up in the tree above, there is a bird's nest. Suddenly, an egg falls from the nest and drops into the egg basket. The 2 kids widen their eyes and lean in to look. They gently carry the basket of eggs into the house. They place it on the table, staring closely at the strange egg. The egg cracks open. A baby bird hatches. The kids gasp, then smile with delight. Dad rushes over, immediately understanding what happened. He grabs a ladder and carefully lifts the baby bird. The kids stand below, tiptoeing anxiously. Dad places the baby bird back into the nest in the tree. The mother bird returns. The whole family stands below, looking up. The 2 kids wave goodbye. In the morning, the garden was full of fallen leaves. Bluey began clearing the leaves at the base of the trees. The leaves fluttered playfully in the breeze. Bluey began clearing the leaves at the base of the trees. Leaves were scattered everywhere in the garden. Bluey prepared to gather the leaves neatly. Bingo also wanted to help clear the leaves. There were still a few spots in the garden that needed clearing. The last leaves were gathered. The garden gradually became clean. The garden looked much brighter. A morning garden cleanup can be a lot of fun. Bluey discovered an empty corner in the garden. Bluey decided to plant a new tree. Bluey began preparing the planting spot. Bluey wanted the tree to be planted in a suitable place. The small tree was placed down very gently. Bluey watered the newly planted tree. Bluey tried placing the tree in a cooler spot. Bingo also wanted to help plant the tree. Gradually took root in the soil. Bluey marked the planting spot for the new tree.
Wow.
The garden looked more beautiful with the new tree. A small tree can also bring great joy. The great cleanup battle morning. Mom stands in the middle of the living room, hands on her hips. She takes a deep breath, then gives a strong signal. Clean up! The whole family jumps. They look around at the piles of clutter. Dad takes the mop. Sister hugs a stack of clothes. Little brother drags a box of toys. Dad mops too hard. Water splashes onto the couch and the wall. Sister finishes folding. The stack tilts. Crash! Clothes spill everywhere. Little brother stuffs toys into the box. The box gets too full. Pop! Toys fly all over the floor. The family stands in the middle of the room, staring at the new chaos. Mom steps into the center, signals to start over. Everyone works in rhythm. The room gradually becomes tidy again. The living room is clean and bright. They look at one another, then burst out laughing. A familiar courtyard suddenly becomes a bustling marketplace. A mini market begins from imagination. And then the first customer appears. When you're too excited, things can get chaotic. When you know how to wait and share, every game becomes wonderful. When everyone does their part, the market becomes orderly. A small market, but full of laughter.
Huh?
When you know how to cooperate, everyone is happy. Sharing is what makes the market more meaningful. When you know how to wait and share, every game becomes wonderful. A quiet afternoon begins with a curious idea. A treasure map doesn't need to be accurate to be exciting. The adventurer appears, ready for the adventure in the room. A plan is drawn up with imagination and excitement.
Sir,
yes, sir!
Following the map, sometimes there will be wrong turns. Knowing when to stop and observe helps find the right path.
Come on, let's go.
Huh? The treasure seems very close ahead. Not all treasures are gold or silver, but there's still plenty of fun. True joy comes from sharing the rewards together. With imagination, any room can become an adventure. These familiar toys have been here for a long time. It's time to take care of them. Every toy needs gentle treatment. Chili teaches how to fix the little things. Repairing is also a way of showing love. Old toys look like new. The memories are still there. They just need to be cared for. Old toys bring new joy. The final cake in the kitchen. The son and daughter stand on chairs in front of the counter. Flour, eggs, and milk are spread everywhere. The two kids look at each other and nod with determination. The cake comes out of the oven, looking a bit misshapen. They take a bite. Their faces scrunch up. The cake doesn't taste good. They look at each other, disappointed. Dad walks into the kitchen, rolls up his sleeves, looking very confident. He adds more ingredients and turns the oven up higher. Smoke starts to rise. The cake burns. The kitchen fills with smoke. The kids cover their noses. Dad scratches his head, embarrassed. Mom walks in, opens the window, and turns off the oven. She calmly tidies up the kitchen. Mom starts again from scratch. Measures the ingredients properly. Stirs. Gently sets the oven to the right temperature. The kids watch, eyes shining. The new cake comes out of the oven. Golden and fragrant, the whole family takes a bite. The kids' eyes light up as they nod again, and again Dad gives a thumbs up. The whole family laughs. Bingo has a stomachache. Cleaning the old storage room morning. The back storage room door opens. The whole family stands in front of the room, filled with old boxes, covered items, and light cobwebs. Dad rolls up his sleeves and lifts a heavy box. Mom opens a notebook and quickly draws 3 sections. Keep, throw away, reuse. Sister opens an old box. An old toy car rolls out. Little brother's eyes go wide. The family looks at each other, then smiles. Quick, playful moments. Dad pushes the car. It hits a table leg and bounces back. Mom releases the car. It rolls in circles. Sister and brother fight over controlling it. Bump! Into an empty box. Everyone bursts out laughing. The storage room becomes brighter, cleaner, more open. The family sits down on the storage room floor. All let out a relieved sigh, smiling softly. Bluey and Bingo are having a lot of fun skateboarding on the rink. The panda notices the skateboard rolling back and forth. The panda decides to try skateboarding for the first time. The panda stands very carefully on the small board. The board starts to move, making the panda wobble a little. A short slide is enough to make the panda very excited. Things quickly become very funny. The new way of skateboarding makes the whole rink more lively. All 3 skateboard in their own way. A simple game is enough to create a very fun moment. Snowman.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
2 hours later.
Bluey discovered an empty corner in the garden. Bluey decided to plant a new tree. Bluey began preparing the planting spot. Bluey wanted the tree to be planted in a suitable place. The small tree was placed down very gently. Bluey watered the newly planted tree. Bluey tried placing the tree in a cooler spot. Bingo also wanted to help plant the tree. The small tree gradually took root in the soil. Bluey marked the planting spot for the new tree. The garden looked more beautiful with the new tree. A small tree can also bring great joy.
Huh?
Behind the house was a small, fascinating forest. Bluey began her exploration. A small path led Bluey deeper into the forest. Each tree trunk had a different shape. The small forest looked vibrant. The journey included small challenges. It was cooler inside the forest than outside. Bingo also wanted to explore with Bluey. There were many new things in the forest. Exploration gradually came to an end. Everyone reunited after the trip. A small forest can also offer a great adventure. A changes all plans. But rain also brings interesting sounds. Bluey and Bingo try to imitate the rhythm of falling rain. Everything around us can become a musical instrument. When listening, everyone finds their own rhythm. No need for perfection, just together. Peaceful moments are always special. Even a rainy day has its own joy. A peaceful afternoon is perfect for a light, active game. Playing ball gently provides exercise while remaining safe. Sometimes, adjusting the force is necessary for a smooth game. Knowing when to stop helps avoid unwanted situations.
Oh,
Playing slowly allows for better control during each turn.
Okay.
Coordination makes the game more enjoyable. You don't need to play hard to have fun. Knowing when to stop helps avoid unwanted situations. Taking breaks at the right time keeps the body comfortable. Woo-hoo-hoo! Playing sports is more meaningful when you know how to control and care for each other. A seemingly ordinary beach outing.
Wow!
But Bluey and Bingo discovered a mystery.
Whoa!
A treasure map appeared right before their eyes. The search began. But the beach wasn't still. The treasure seemed to be playing a trick on the whole family.
Whoa!
The treasure was cleverly hidden. The best treasure of all is the joy of family. A familiar morning when the wardrobe is overflowing.
Huh?
Clothes can also become a game.
Whoa!
A little confusion adds to the fun. But to be tidy requires organization. Aha! When you know how to categorize, everything becomes easier to find.
Huh?
Every small task requires patience. When you cooperate, even difficult tasks become easy. Tidy brings a pleasant feeling. A well-organized wardrobe helps each day start better. Wow! When you know how to maintain it, your home is always the most pleasant place. One fine day, the family decided to wash their beloved car. When you're too excited, things can easily become excessive. Doing things the right way makes the job easier. Saving money is part of caring for the environment. Safety is always paramount. It's okay to make a small mistake, as long as you know how to correct it. Being tidy helps things finish faster. When working together, the joy always outweighs the fatigue.
The journey of the red ball. On a beautiful day at the Healer House, Bluey and Bingo were feeling down because they had no toys. Suddenly, a red balloon appeared. And so the chase began. Passing through the lush green park, be careful, jump high. Oh, what a mischievous breeze. They had travelled a long distance, all the way to the windy beach. We need a bit of teamwork. Amazing! The two sisters did it. small adventure, but the fun was immense. See you again.
Bluey discovered strange wet footprints on the floor. The footprints led Bluey further. The footprints stretched along the hallway. But the footprints continued on and on. Not all the footprints disappeared. The footprints circled and then turned in another direction.
Huh?
Bluey followed the tracks while cleaning. Finally, the footprints led to the backyard. The mystery was solved. Following the small footprints, Bluey brought back a dry and happy home. Bluey decided to turn their home into a family sports day. The final station required coordination. Bluey tried her hand at the first race. The second station required dexterity. Bingo also wanted to join the challenge. The next station tested quick reflexes. Yahoo! Maintaining balance was a difficult challenge. Whoa! Everyone took turns.
Ha! Let's go!
The final station required coordination.
Yeah!
The final station required coordination. The family sports day brought laughter and positive energy. After breakfast, the dining table needs to be tidied up. When starting out with small tasks, everyone can be a little clumsy. Slowing down makes things easier to manage. Observing the correct way to do things helps make the job tidier. Working together makes things easier. Being careful in each small step helps avoid making more mess. Correcting mistakes helps the work continue smoothly. Clearly visible results bring a very pleasant feeling. Completing small tasks by hand helps children gain more confidence. Maintaining a tidy routine every day keeps the home warm and inviting. The giant balloon. The family gathers around a huge balloon. Dad holds a hand pump. Mom holds the balloon's neck. The kids watch excitedly.
Oh.
The balloon grows bigger, bigger. The kids' eyes widen. Dad and Mom exchange a slightly worried look, but keep going. The younger child hugs the balloon tightly. The balloon lifts the child off the ground. Feet dangle in the air. The child laughs and squeals. Dad and Mom gasp. Dad jumps, trying to grab the child. Mom pulls gently on the balloon string. Too weak. The older kid runs to grab a pin/sharp stick. Everyone gestures quickly to each other. Dad and Mom pull an air mattress/inflatable mat underneath. The older kid pops the balloon. Hiss! The balloon slowly deflates. The younger child floats down gently onto the air mattress. Bounces once, then sits up smiling. Everyone exhales in relief. Bluey gets lost in the giant sunflower forest. Under their familiar tree, Bluey and Bingo begin a new game with falling leaves. Each leaf has its own way of traveling as the wind blows. Just a slight difference, and the outcome changes completely. always stay still as we wish. When we stop trying to control them, the game becomes more fun. Outdoors, nature and imagination are all you need for a perfect play session. Bluey is preparing to plant a new tree in the garden. Before planting, the soil needs to be carefully prepared. Bluey starts with the dry soil in the garden. Each corner of the garden has a different type of soil.
Wow!
Bingo also wants to help prepare the soil.
Oh!
Bluey mixes the soil thoroughly. A little water helps to soften the soil. The soil looks looser and more ready. Bluey checks if the soil is just right.
Aha!
The soil is ready for the new tree. Everything is ready. A healthy tree starts from carefully prepared soil. A small idea can create a whole new space. A mini library is formed from simple things. And then a curious visitor appears. Not everyone knows how to be gentle from the start. When you know how to adjust, everything becomes more pleasant. Respect makes the space warm. Each page of a book opens up a small world. When you know how to cherish it, joy will last longer. A small corner is enough to bring peace. When we learn to appreciate books, we learn to appreciate everything around us. Counting the stairs. Bluey and Bingo stand ready for a simple challenge, climbing the staircase. Bluey starts her climb, and Bandit begins to clap rhythmically, each clap matching a step. Bingo is slightly confused at first, but she quickly finds the rhythm, trying to sync her tiny steps with the claps. The two girls are halfway up. Bandit claps louder and clearer, helping them maintain the count. Bluey glances back to check her dad's rhythm. Bingo misses a step and pauses. She concentrates hard, then steps forward, determined to catch the rhythm of her dad's counting. Finally, Bluey steps onto the last stair, and Bingo follows closely behind.
A lightning-fast cleanup in 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes left. Mom and Dad are almost home, but the living room looks like a toy battlefield. The race against time begins. Bluey is in command. Bingo is executing. Not a single piece is allowed to be out of place. Bingo tried her best with her little hands. A slight misstep didn't discourage her because Bluey was right behind her, providing support. Everyone had a task. Some took care of the upper floors, others cleaned the lower ones. The pace of cleaning the Healer house had never been so frantic. This is the hardest part. 1, 2, 3. A fantastic teamwork between the two sisters. Almost done. Bluey is using its versatile tail, while Bingo is meticulously smoothing out each thread on the carpet. The door opened. A spotless room and 2 radiant smiles. The lightning-fast cleaning mission, a resounding success.
Bluey and Bingo wave goodbye to Dad and head to school. They walk happily down the street. After a few steps, Bingo reaches behind her back. No backpack. Bluey notices and points. Bingo quickly pulls out a phone and makes a call. Back at home, Dad is sipping coffee. The phone rings. He listens, nods confidently, and taps his chest. I've got this. He rushes inside and grabs a backpack. Bluey and Bingo wait near the school entrance, a little worried. From afar, Dad runs toward them, out of breath, holding the backpack high. The kids relax. Bingo takes the backpack and opens it. Inside, adult clothes, a scarf, random items. Bluey leans in, then covers her mouth, giggling. Bingo freezes. Dad looks inside the bag, looks at the kids, realizes this is Mom's backpack. He scratches his head, embarrassed. The 3 stare at each other for a beat. They all burst into silent laughter. A long, rainy day, when outdoor plans have to be put on hold. But rain doesn't mean the fun is over. When the scenery changes, emotions change too. A little clumsiness makes a rainy day more enjoyable. When we're together, everywhere feels warm. A rainy day is a chance to slow down. When imagination speaks, rain becomes music. No need to go far, just be together. A rainy day can also become the most memorable day. The fried chicken cook-off. In the kitchen, Dad and the two kids stand in a line. On the counter, chicken, flour, eggs, a frying pan. All three raise their hands confidently. Mom leans against the doorway, smiling, slightly suspicious. Dad rolls up his sleeves, looking very professional. The older kid follows the steps seriously. The younger one copies, but goes a bit too far. The stove timer beeps. Smoke fills the kitchen. Mom squints as she watches. One plate is burnt black. One plate is dripping with oil. One plate doesn't even look like chicken. Dad and the kids look at each other, then lower their heads sadly. Mom walks into the kitchen. She rolls up her sleeves. Gestures. Let me handle this. Dad and the kids stand behind her, eyes shining. A perfect plate of fried chicken is placed on the table. Dad and the kids clap loudly. Mom crosses her arms and smiles softly. The secret breakfast. Mom is asleep in her bedroom. Dad, sister, and little brother stand outside the kitchen, exchanging a silent shh gesture. Dad fills the kettle with water and turns on the stove. Steam rises. Dad quickly lowers the heat, nervously glancing around. Sister places bread into the toaster. Little brother carries a tray of eggs to the table. One egg rolls. Crack! It falls. He hurriedly picks it up, wipes it clean, and quietly puts it back. The family sets the table together. Plates slightly crooked, tablecloth wrinkled. Toast a little burnt, water poured too full. Dad steps back, looking at everything. He nods proudly. The bedroom door opens. Mom steps out, still sleepy. She freezes. Her eyes move from the messy breakfast to her family standing behind it. Mom covers her mouth, eyes filling with tears. A warm, grateful smile appears. The family sits together at the table. Bluey and Bingo were preparing for a treasure hunt. But the weather had other plans. The treasure map started changing. The whole family decided to follow the new map. But the treasure didn't appear. Maybe they misunderstood.
Hey! Hey!
The treasure was right where they started. Sometimes the treasure doesn't go anywhere. It's just that the map got wet.
Bluey goes on a treasure hunt.
As night falls, the sky begins to reveal its secrets. A comfortable seat makes observation easier. Little stars begin to appear.
Hey!
There are stars that always stay close together.
Oh!
Imagination transforms the sky into a story. Sometimes the sky sends a small gift. Silence helps us see more. A gentle night comes to a close.